This is a super recent post. Like, as I'm making this video, it was uploaded 4 hours ago. And I kind of skimmed through it, and there's some pretty, there's some pretty good stuff here. I haven't read it in detail yet, so I'm sure I'll find something to ultimately, disagree with. But for the most part, these are all issues this person is pointing out that need to be fixed next season, and I do agree with, pretty much what they are aiming towards with this post. But yeah, we will get into it. But yeah, I just want to say these are problems that need to be fixed next season. Like 100%, at least, a handful of these problems need to be fixed next season. There's probably, a few outliers here as far as criticism that's not like a huge priority. But yeah, all right, let's get into it. I love the devs, I really truly do. They are overly communicative and transparent, and they respond quickly to our complaints most of the time. However, and this has become more and more of an issue recently, at least for me, matchmaking is still utterly bad with numerous key core problems. Let me make a list. Okay, so yes, this is like the first thing that I noticed, and I think they have a good point here. Matchmaking is kind of an issue. It really depends. Like, there's a lot of times where you get like locked into a game. Like, let's say you leave a game and then re-queue up. A lot of times you will get that same party. So I don't know. It's matchmaking, just simple. Matchmaking definitely needs some work. There's really, like, honestly, people talk about like how bad matchmaking can be, but I don't know. Even myself, I've mentioned this before, but I don't think I've ever made a video specific to like matchmaking. But I'm not 100% sure. Regardless, matchmaking definitely needs a tune-up for next season, like 100%. But I have a feeling like some of these weird matchmaking issues are just, is just basically a bug, but I don't know, we will see. PvP, let's start here, as it's the least used of the two, and we can get into the meat of the issues with PvE after. Okay, every time I switch matchmaking, I lose my connection to the server. Every time I leave matchmaking, leave lobby queues, leave match, change game mode, so on. Okay, yeah, this happens to me definitely. Okay, I won't say every time, but a large portion of the time, and definitely too many times, I'll say that much. But this also happens for me with PvE as well. The connection is lost and I'm forced back to the title screen, and this can last for multiple restarts of the game, and it is not connection issues with my own internet. I've checked. Yeah, I mean, dude, for sure, this definitely happens. Let me know in the comments if this has happened to you, but I'll tell you what. A lot of these, as far as PvP and PvE goes, if that's the case, a lot of these games that you're getting in that you're trying to leave, you're just better off seeing it through the end and then trying to re-queue afterwards, because it'll just be that much easier. And, you get a little extra practice time, but for the most part, I understand this is definitely an issue that needs to be fixed. This is why I'm making the video. Lobbies are completely randomized with no skill-based matchmaking whatsoever. Now, this is I'm gonna push back on this. We talked about the matchmaking for PvP before, and I gotta say, I have been on teams with lower and higher level players, and a lot of the times the results really don't matter. There's plenty of times where even if you start a game with a low-level team, if one player on the other team leaves early, then it doesn't matter. This happens a lot of the times. What matters is your team, playing from start to finish. Start of the game, making sure your team is on the ball. They're going after point. You guys are playing together. Nobody's just off doing a 3-minute flank in the beginning of the game, just effectively making it basically a 5v6. But, that said, not really the subject here. Overall, matchmaking is ultimately, I understand where you see, bigger numbers on one team, smaller numbers on another team. That can be an issue, but it's not as big as an issue as you truly think. You will get much better at PvP in this game, just playing games, and this PvP is very simple. You will get a hold of it. I would push back on the fact that this is probably more of a problem in Team Deathmatch, because it's just the most simple form of that game mode. But dude, I've been on teams with full 20 guys who, I was the only person on point, so I would suggest doing the point and King of the Hill modes, basically. Thankfully, I'm above level 20, so I'm not affected too much, but new people fresh from the holiday are basically screwed. I've literally been in random matches where one whole side is level 20s and up, and the other side are single digits. Yeah, same. I mean, frankly, I've done this before, and won games on PS5 Pro as a lower, a single digit, player, but I'm technically not a single digit PvP player on PS5. I'm kind of new to PvP on Space Marine 2 with the paddle, but I played Gears of War with the paddle, so I don't know. And then I still play PvP on mouse and keyboard on PC also, so I don't know. I just think this is it's one of those issues that feel easy to blame rather than like an actual issue. The re-queuing and leaving games to just get stuck in the same game over and over again is weird. That's a bigger issue than the numbers on the other team. How can that be allowed to happen? I mean, look, I'm not going to say matchmaking PvP doesn't need any works. I'm just going to say that it's not a priority. Not necessarily a matchmaking issue, but one that still sticks in my craw. Okay. They said that they were going to ban mods in PvP, and yet cheating and hacking is still rampant. Yeah, that's just... Yep. I mean, dude, this I might make an entire other video on, but I haven't ran into any hackers or cheaters or anything like that, but I've seen a rise in hackers and cheaters in other games, so this is just something I can just believe at face value. That said, it really depends on what platform you're playing on, because I can imagine the PC platform, since it's not crossplay, it could, people are probably seeing more hackers just because the PC PvP population is probably not as big as it was, a couple months ago. But it really depends. It really depends. This can be an issue, but I think the devs will be on cheaters and stuff. It's just a pretty bad report system. Maybe they can just fix that up, right? Multiple games I've had people throwing melta-bombs across maps, infinite nades. Yeah, make clips and post them. Because at the very least it'll be entertaining. Being invulnerable to damage infinite specials like assaults that bounce 5 or 6 times. Yeah, like 1 or 2 of these things I feel like could be exaggerations. Like, I gotta be honest. This is why I'm asking for clips. It's like assaults that bounce 5 or 6 times. It's like, bro, they already bounced 3 times. That's enough to just get mad and be like, how many times can he bounce? Now, that said, this is a very thought-out post. I'm not going to say this person would do something like that, but, I can see these criticisms also just being PvP. But, yeah, I agree that hackers can definitely be a problem. I should do some PC PvP soon to see if it, if I can find any hackers. And you have to think these people have been reported by more than just myself if they're so blatant with it, when we are actually going to see them enforce what they say and follow through. I mean, that's why we make clips, right? So just more information out there about the hackers and stuff like that just helps us, because then you don't have to like call anybody out, but people are smart enough to see what they're looking at. So as soon as they can identify a cheater or a hacker, they're able to link it and just like, basically leave the game at that point. All right, yeah, let's not talk about matchmaking again. Moving on to PvE, as this is the most popular mode and has the most issues with matchmaking. Oh, crap. Loading screens are excessively long and numerous. Nah, stop. I mean, look, that really depends on your kit. Like, that depends what you're playing on, but you know what? Yeah, I won't talk about this, but I don't think loading screens are bad for modern day games. On PS5 Pro, the loading screen is just a little bit better than what I have on PC, but both of them are fine. Especially considering when you load into an operation, you could be there for like 40 minutes. Load time in the barge, load screen to take off, you can skip that. Load screen while in dropship. What? Oh, yeah, that's the only real loading screen. Load screen in the barge, and the takeoff and the barge is the same thing for me. Load screen while in dropship. Yeah, that's the only real loading screen. Load screen intro. Yeah, you skip that. Load screen outro. You can also skip like the real one, but yeah, then there's a load screen for the actual rewards. That makes sense. So overall, I'm going to count 2 of these. Like, I really don't want to be a jerk, but I'm only going to count 2 of these load screens. The other ones are skippable. Specifically on the load screen outro, when you've completed the mission and either re-entered the dropship and it flies away, or some other animation plays. Yeah, I agree with this one. The load screen for the outro is definitely a little bit too long. It feels a little bit old school, but I mean, that is the experience with Space Marines 2. And I do enjoy that. I'm not saying that load screens have to be long for me to enjoy this game, but like, it's, for me, just not a priority. I understand the criticism though. 7 out of 10 times, at least in my experience, the game crashes. Oh yeah, see, no shot. No. No. I definitely crash more on PC, but I have not crashed once on PS5 Pro yet, let alone to believe 7 out of 10 times. That has to be a technical issue there or something. But that said, if that is the case, clip it and ship it. 2 people will go to skip and suddenly everything freezes. Yeah, no, that's true. People, no. This is actually a good point. Because yeah, if the host of the game leaves too fast, it just oh my god, it doesn't freeze, but it takes longer for the game to understand what's going on. At that point, I want to recommend just being patient and letting it do its thing. If it's going to crash, it crashes. In this guy's experience, I think he's playing on PC, and his PC might be just a little bit worse or maybe a little bit better than mine. My PC performance on Space Marines 2 has been kind of iffy. All you hear is endless sound effects. You have close out of the game entirely and reload. Yeah, I don't recommend doing this until you absolutely know for sure that's the only option. Sometimes the loading screens just take a little bit, but yeah, that's because I think this is a way you could end up losing your cosmetics, but I hope not. I've not lost experience on it, but every time it happens, I worry about something getting corrupted. Yeah, same thought I had, but this person just said it's not an issue, so hey, just be cautious. Especially with people having recently reported about losing all their experience in classes. Yes, but we covered that. The devs have been on it, as best as they can, I will say. Finally, and perhaps the most glaring and frequently mentioned complaint that I've seen this game came out is that there should be a way to ensure you don't join a game preferred class. Yeah, I know. Nah, we talked about this one enough. We can just put that under matchmaking issues because that's considered basically like the same thing. So, yeah. Okay, so they have a TLDR here. I'll read it afterwards. But I will say this is a lot of matchmaking needs a tune-up. And, dude, honestly, let me know in the comments if you can, think off the head. Think off the head there. If you can think of launch matchmaking, if it was worse or better than what we have today. Today, it feels faster. But, yeah, leaving and joining other games feels worse, which is odd. Honestly, I get into games instantly, PvP and PvE, at least on PS5. I haven't played, I played Operations recently on PC, and they were also instant. And luckily, I've had a really good win rate recently. So I can understand these matchmaking issues being a huge problem for people with PCs, maybe a little bit worse than mine. I have 16 gig RAM. That's honestly getting a little outdated nowadays, but I'm not the best PC guy to really talk about that stuff with, but that's it. I have been joining games very fast. I want to know your guys' experience with this because matchmaking definitely needs to be tuned up for next season. I will say I think the leaving and changing into other games probably has a priority over everything here. Even the cheaters in PvP, but that said, that could get worse. Loading screens, meh. I'd rather, if I had to pick between loading screens and matchmaking to to get fixed, matchmaking 100%. All right, let's read the TLDR. I know I already said a lot here, but this was actually a pretty good breakdown of the current issues with the game. To wrap things up a little, TLDR, PvP has insane connectivity issues, atrocious randomized lobbies, and rampant modders and hackers. Okay, relax with the rampant hackers. I need to see more clips of that, and I will cover it if that's the case. Atrocious randomized lobbies, also meh. Connectivity issues, yeah, fair. PvE has excessively long and numerous load screens, frequent crashes. You gotta let us know your experience with that in the comments if you are crashing a lot, if you're playing on console or PC. I gotta say, PS5 Pro has been a very good experience with Space Marines 2. Incredible need for a quality of life update, adding a filter to matchmaking. Yes, I agree with that. Allowing us to join matches with where our preferred classes are free. Yes. That's a good breakdown of the current issues that we need at least some adjustment to in the next season. This is not a hate post. This is a good, good ending to this because this is this is good criticism without any insults or anything like that. There might be a little hyperbole here and there, but I can't ultimately say what this person's experience is. Do not come in here to troll, belittle, or otherwise antagonize others. This is a complaint observation meant to stimulate discussion around the topic and hopefully get a little of Saber's attention. My goal and hope is that they will postpone one of the DLC drops. Holy cow, no! Why? What? Look, oh geez, dude, that's no. They don't need to postpone DLC drops for some of these issues. I believe they can get the job done on both. Treat this like Rainbow Six Siege did during Operation Health. Give it a window of pure doctor time. Let me know in the comments if you know. Fix bugs and invest in better technology. No, come on. Dude, the game is it's super beautiful. The loading times right now, I'll take it. I'll take it with how good it looks. Like, I have to be honest. Obviously, it looks better on the PS5 Pro than my PC. I will say that. Seeing by the road map, they obviously plan to keep this game going for a while. Anyway, thank you for reading, and I hope to read your thoughts below. Okay, so I said my thoughts already, but yeah, I want to read one or two comments about this, but I'm actually more interested to see what you guys are going to say in the comments, especially on this issue, since a lot of these are very focused down, and we really need people's experience with crashes, hackers, loading screens. I understand that's more of like a tolerance thing, so you know, everyone's gonna have an opinion about that. I think, you know, those are gonna have wide range of opinions, but hackers and crashes are something that are just like, yeah, they're definitive, basically. Yeah, let me know in the comments for sure. Matchmaking, we all know we all know matchmaking needs an adjustment. I don't disconnect after an operation, but when I start the game, appear in the battle barge, choose decapitation, enter the ready area, connection lost. After that, I need to restart the game because the same error appears every time. Yep. It's weird. It's like everyone has a different stage of this. For me, it goes connect to an operation. You join the operation. Maybe, you know, they're already dead or something, and I leave. Then I have to, you know, then I can't find another game. It's something like that. Sometimes I'll join an operation that has like connection issues, but I think that's just more of just me connecting to somebody, you know, who has high ping or something. Yeah, that said, it's kind of weird that everyone has different stages of this. But if I don't pick decapitation as my first operation, it'll work fine. Yeah, no, that's so true, dude. Literally, oh my god. Literally happens with me on lethal. Like, I'll go for an operation. I don't know if it's decapitation or not, but like I'll go for an operation, it won't connect, and then if it doesn't connect and I have to restart my game, I go for quick match and it'll work instantly. That's weird. This is good while we're talking about this. I genuinely think matchmaking is the biggest problem in this game at the moment. I'll be able to play decapitation later on, but like WTF, yep. What Xbox are you on, the X or S? I play on X and haven't experienced any of these problems. So I'm not 100% sure about Xbox. I don't know if the S or the X is better. As far as I know, the PS5 and the PS5 Pro are like really good systems to play Space Marine 2 on, which is sad. Like, honestly, Xbox guys, dude, I just been, ever since I've, you know, covered some of these issues or problems in games or whatever, the most part, every time when I hear about Xbox, it's never good, man. It's never good. Shout out to our Xbox brothers. Please give them support. Emperor, please let them play the game. Holy cow, dude. Oh my god, that's upsetting. But yeah, so the original poster of this has an Xbox S, and somebody mentioned Xbox S is not the best console for Space Marine 2 load times. So that explains why this person has a specific issue with load times. That said, hey, it's great that we were able to break it down. It's Xbox S, Series S specifically. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys have problems with any of this stuff. I'm glad we were able to see what system the original poster is on. I think that that post was a great breakdown of what we needed to see worked on, basically, for next patch. Upcoming seasons, we will see. But yeah, matchmaking, for sure. For sure.